Who's that?
The David Price nickname.
Did you see Marcus Stroman's nickname from David Price?
I can't
Tylenol.
Yeah.
Why?
Is that because it looks like pills that he's throwing?
I don't know.
That's what somebody in the paper wrote.
I don't know.
Don't believe it.
You know,
I
there's
think
no
they're
like
just going.
really good
Starting
nicknames anymore.
lineups for the second game of our doubleheader.
unit.
First for the Fanshawe
Holy
Falcons.
cannon.
Leading off and playing shortstop, number
man
6,
did it.
Chris McQueen. Batting second and playing second base, number 14, Ian Kerrigan. Batting third and playing third base, number 19, Sean Rieslinghouse.
Alright, this is just not
Batting fourth and catching, number 22, Mike Ambrose. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 13, Tyson Patrick. Batting sixth and DHing, number 28, Alex Chanou. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 28, Jeremy Newman. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 24, Mike Cox. Batting ninth and playing center field, number 3, Tristan Buntrock. Pitching for the Falcons is number 15, Andrew Taylor.
One round back in center field.
And now the starting lineup for your Humber Hawks.
Can you screenshot that?
Batting first and playing second base, number 2, Steven Andropoulos.
Giddy up.
Batting second and playing center field, number 4, Daniel
Shortstop, Lightning
Campos.
McQueen.
Batting third and playing shortstop, number 13, Sean Matson. Batting cleanup and playing first base, number 8, Len Wood. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 12, Danny Onfeld. Batting sixth and playing the hot corner, number 21, Matt Sutter.
Contributes to success to
Batting
eating
seventh
only
and catching,
oranges on game days.
number 17,
Drinking milk out
Colin
of bags.
Gingrich. Batting eighth and playing left field, Brandon Costa. And batting ninth, the DH Andrew
Art was
Thompson.
fun.
Bless you.
Pitching today,
Number 14, Andrew Blakey.
number 14,
Andrew Blakey.
Andrew Blakey.
Wow, man, it sounds like he's in
That
touch.
was real good.
Is it Blakely or Baker?
Blakey.
Lakey.
Like a nickname.
Paul, you
I
wanna?
don't think
Or do you want me and
anyone-
Evan? Oh, well, me and Evan. Oh, yeah, you're right. Right
So
here,
the
Evan.
game's kind of
Leading off for
Should be working?
Here, switch seats. Or you want to do
Yeah,
play by
you can
play?
do it.
All right, switch sides. Go quick. Like,
I mean,
I need a chair. You just took mine. Yeah, what's your chair? Whatever.
it's
Okay,
okay.
it's this
Sorry,
one.
just move it.
We are underway here in Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Fanshawe Falcons and your Humber Hawks. And a 1-1 count right out of the gate here. On the shortstop, Chris McQueen. Andrew Blakey getting the start here. In the second game of this twin bill, Humber taking the first game by a score of 15-5. It was a 6-run first inning that really got things going as Blakey's pitch misses up. 2-1 now on batter Chris McQueen. McQueen in the first game, 2 for 3, a couple of runs scored and an RBI. Really the only big offensive player in that first game for Fanshawe. He grounds one to the right side, fielded at first by Wood. He'll take it to the bag himself. And there's one away here at the top of the first.
Mike, Andrew Blakey comes in today with a 2.15 ERA in 13 innings pitched so far this season, giving up 10 hits and 5 runs.
Yeah, Blakey looking to...
With a 2-1 record as well.
Yeah, looking for that third win. We'll set the defense up here for you in a second, and it's a pitch up to Ian Kerrigan, who did not get the start in Game 1. Kerrigan starting at second base. The 1-0 pitch from Blakey to Kerrigan. There's a strike, 1-1. You go around the infield from first to third. Len Wood, Stephen Andropoulos, Sean Matson at short, Matt Stoddart at third. Here's the pitch. There's a one-hopper under the glove of Len Wood into right field. Play that Wood maybe could have made, as it looked like it ticked off his glove. He just put his glove down, didn't really reach one way or the other. And Kerrigan is aboard
Number 19,
on what I would imagine is an E3. So a one-up base runner, Kerrigan. That'll bring Sean Reflinghouse, who caught in Game 1, is at third base here in Game 2. In the outfield for Humber, Andrew Thompson, and left Daniel Campos Brandon Costa in left, David Campos in center, Kenneth Honfield in right. Andrew Thompson at the start in game one. He's DHing here in the second game. So runner at first, one out. Here's Reflinghaus, and he takes a strike 0-1. Colin Gingrich is behind the plate. He was the designated hitter for Humber in game one, getting the start. Giving a breather to Blake Cower, who caught both games yesterday and won here this afternoon, and it's now strike two. On the batter, Reflinghaus. He was 0-1 with a pair of walks in the first game. Good lead over at first from Kerrigan. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's a little bit high, 1-2.
Good job by Blakey here early on, these first couple batters, Mike, really getting ahead of them in the strike count here as he got up 0-2 here on the batter.
And the 1-2 pitch, that is a little bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Sean Reflinghaus. It was Reflinghaus who was at the plate when we had what amounted to just a war of words, a little dust up between the teams. As Blake Cower started to jog off the field thinking that he had gotten strike 3. Cooler heads prevailed. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Reflinghaus. First strikeout of the afternoon for Andrew Blakey. And there's 2 away here in the top of the first.
Nice job by Blakey going to the off-speed pitch there as his put-away pitch there early on this game. Got Reflinghaus chasing there.
Mike Ambrose.
So Mike Ambrose will be the batter. Ambrose was at third base at the first game, and he'll be behind the plate for the Falcons here in the second game of the doubleheader. Ambrose leading the team with 6 runs batted in, was hitting at .462 coming into the weekend. The set and the pitch by Blakey, and it is a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes on Mike Ambrose. Both the infield and outfield straight up for Humber. For the right-handed batting, Mike Ambrose. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is high and tight. 2 balls, no strikes.
You have to think if you're the Falcons coming into this game, too, with the doubleheader, Mike, not much went their way in game one, aside from early on getting to starting pitcher for the Hawks, but looking to kind of get off, start this inning on the right track here.
And runner goes. That ball's put up in the air. Foul territory. Coming over is the third baseman and back, and making a nice catch there is Matt Stoddard. Stuck with it, and so the error by Wood does not prove costly as the Falcons do not score. So we're through half an inning here in game 2. It's the Falcons nothing, and your Humber Hawks coming to bat.
Good play there by Stoddard, tracking that high fly ball into foul territory there, just past the third base bag there. And again, kind of drifted back towards the field of play there in the last minute there, but Stoddard able to place his glove out there and make that play, record the final out of the inning.
A good point, Everett. Fortunately, the skies have been clear here for the most part this afternoon. No rain. The field is dry. Much more favorable conditions than we saw yesterday when Humber and St. Clair engaged in a very entertaining doubleheader. Both games won by the St. Clair Saints. So the Hawks will come to bat here. It was the first inning in last game, which they did a lot of their damage. 6-run first for the Humber Hawks, really setting things in motion. The Hawks ended up winning that first game 15-5 was the final.
So that's 9-0 in the top of the second in St. Pete.
And on the mound this afternoon in game 2 for the Fanshawe Falcons, it will be the left-hander Andrew Callett. So
comes into today with a 4.42 ERA in 6.1 innings, 6 1/3 innings of work. He's given up 4 runs on 10 hits. All of those runs earned.
So a battle of the Andrews. Andrew Blakey for Humber, Andrew Callett on the mound for Fanshawe. And of course, Fanshawe came in with a better record than Humber, Everett. They were 6-3, now 6-4. But the run differential after that loss, they've now scored 45 and given up 53 on the season.
Yeah, anytime you see towards the end of the season, the teams that will be up higher in the standings tend to be those that have a higher run differential there. Definitely cause for concern if you're the Falcons coaching staff, I would have to think.
Leading off
And
to
on the flip side of
number
things,
2,
it was,
Steven Andropoulos.
yesterday that even though they lost the 2 games, Humber finished the game, even though their record was 6-5, 68 runs for and 38 against. So very much to your point, the record maybe not telling the entire story. Everett, as Steven Andropoulos, one of the stars in Game 1, steps in, takes a called strike. Andropoulos really setting the table at the top of the Hawks order in Game 1. He was 2 for 3. He was on base 4 times as he takes another called strike 0-2. 2 for 3, 3 runs scored, an RBI, a walk, and 4 stolen bases.
Definitely what you want out of your leadoff man, getting that speed on base.
Takes a little bit outside 1 and 2. And it was the shift in the order because Daniel Campos led off both games yesterday, had a couple of misadventures on the base path. There's a ground ball to second, easy play for the second baseman there. That's Ian Kerrigan making the play, and 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Andropoulos retired on a 4-3 putout.
Now batting
Yeah,
Daniel
routine
Campos will be the batter.
Routine ground ball there, hit right to the second baseman, able to field it cleanly and throw over to first to record the first out.
Saw a few tricky hops in Game 1, but by and large the field in pretty good condition as Daniel Campos will stand in. He takes outside for a ball, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch, there's a called strike to Campos. We'll set the infield for you. Jeremy Noonan at first base, Ian Kerrigan at second, Chris McQueen at short, and Sean Refflinghaus at third. As this pitch is fouled off by Campos, 1-2. Mike Ambrose, who was at third base in the first game, is behind the dish here in Game 2. The outfield left to right, Mike Cox, Tristan Buntrock, and Tyson Patrick. There's a tapper to the right of the mound. Again, it'll be the second baseman Kerrigan. He makes the play. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the first. And the only thing the Falcons did wrong there was throw it into left field on the around the horn. But 2 up, 2 down. Good start for Andrew Calick, Everett.
Yeah, Calick doing well at getting a couple of ground ball outs, really keeping the ball down in the zone, forcing the Hawks batters to really go down in the strike zone and get it. And so far, just coming out of here with a couple of ground balls.
So Sean Matson will stand in, the shortstop. Matson 1 for 3, couple of runs scored, an RBI in Game 1, and he pops this up in a left center field. The center fielder has it, squared up. That's Buntrock. He puts it away, and it's a 1-2-3 inning as Humber goes down in order. So after 1 inning here in Game 2, Falcons and Hawks scoreless.
Michael, in between games, received an injury update on the Hawks injured player yesterday's game, Brandon Loynes, who was in here at the ballpark, came about halfway through the first game in a sling. No structural bone damage there on that play at first base. Just diagnosis of receiving, just needed some physiotherapy, and he'll be back definitely sooner than what was initially hoped.
And that's certainly good news, Everett. Did not look good when we saw it. He went down in a heap of pain and was immediately helped off the field. So certainly good to hear no structural damage. That's always a scary thing for a first baseman. There's really 2 things I think you worry about at first. It's either getting stepped on, having your ankle rolled, or having your wrist exposed, reaching out to catch the ball.
Yeah, that's certainly what happened in yesterday's game. Again, yeah, just one of those things where those are the 2 big risks that you run playing first base, but good to see that he'll be back sooner than initially anticipated. Hopefully get him in the last couple games of the regular season before a potential playoff push for the Hawks.
And so we wish him the best in his recovery. And thanks, Everett, for the update. So we will go to top of the second.
Top of the second with Blakey on the mound here. It's going to be Patrick, Chanu, and Nolan due up here for
13,
the Falcons.
Tyson Patrick.
Patrick comes into the weekend hitting .235 on the season. It's the first pitch from Blakey. Right down the middle for a strike.
Patrick in right field in this game, started in left in Game 1.
The 0-1 pitch from Blakey is high. Even the count at 1-1. 1-1 pitch from Blakey on the way. A grounder hit to short, fielded by Matson cleanly. Takes his time, corrals it, throws over to first for Wood to make the out. So just like that, another ground ball out here for Blakey.
Number 28, Alex Chenu.
Alex Chenu due up here, the designated hitter for the Falcons. First pitch from Blakey. Again, leading off with that first pitch strike, Michael, has been very important so far today.
Yeah, Blakey's looked sharp here early on. Only 4 hits by the Falcons in that first game.
The 0-1 pitch from Blakey is fouled off. And Chenu is behind 0-2 to Blakey. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Blakey. Gets some on the inside there. Strikeout for the second out of the inning.
Number 7, Jeremy.
A good high fastball there by Andrew Blakey getting the chase. And he really looked sharp in command early on, Everett.
And it's going to be the left-handed Jeremy Nonen now setting in for the Falcons. First pitch again in there for a strike. All 3 batters this inning, Blakey has got out in front with first pitch strike. The 0-1 pitch is again right in there, and just like again, 0-2, Blakey is up on Nonen.
Gotta love the way he's attacking these hitters, being aggressive in the zone early.
The 0-2 pitch tried to get him to chase high and outside. Nonen lays off that one. 1-2 the count. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Blakey. It is fouled off in behind the Hawks dugout, as Nonen stays alive here. The 1-2 pitch from Blakey on the way. Inside, brushed him, didn't brush Nonen back off the plate, just got close to clipping him on the inside there, Mike.
Yeah, had Jeremy Noonan leaning a little bit. Gotta caught him off guard.
And now the 2-2 pitch from Blakey. Tried to frame it there. Was Gingrich behind the plate, but just didn't catch enough of that outside corner. And the count goes full. The 3-2 pitch. A hard ball, hit ball into left field, but hit right at the outfielder Costa, and the Falcons go down 1-2-3 here in the second inning.
Nice easy inning there for Andrew Blakey, as you said, attacking the hitters, getting ahead. Went 0-2 to 3-2 there, but here's my fastball hit it. Jeremy Noonan hit it right at the left fielder Costa. So a nice job early by Andrew Blakey.
And so early on here, it's 3-0s up on the board here. The pitchers are settling in early, establishing themselves in this game, Michael.
And certainly nice for us. We had a very messy scorecard a couple of times. The Humberhawks batting around in game 1. It's been clean and easy so far. Nice crisp game through an inning and a half, but long way to go, Everett. As you know, things can change in a hurry in this game.
That is the nature of sports. You never know what's going to happen, Michael.
Why we love it.
And so Andrew Kallick comes to the mound here for his second inning of work. Kallick's numbers coming into today, again, slightly smaller sample size in just 6 1/3 innings. Just giving up 4 runs on 10 hits. And issued 4 walks with 2 strikeouts. So already, I would say in this game he's really working the bottom half of the strike zone, Michael, which has been effective for him so far.
Yeah, we see the left-handers. We've seen a few of them here over this weekend. A couple of double headers. If you're a left-hander and you can throw strikes, boy, that goes a long way in this game of baseball, doesn't it, Everett?
Yeah, the value of having a strong left-handed starter, or even coming out of the bullpen, as we saw in the first game, the left-handed retired 4 straight lefty batters there. Leading off is Len Wood, the first baseman for the Hawks.
Yeah, big game in the first game for Len Wood. 3 for 5, 4 runs batted in, 3 runs scored. A couple of 2-run base hits, a 2-run single and a 2-run double, so he really doing a great job in that cleanup spot.
First pitch from Kallick, chopper right back to Kallick, fielded by Kallick, throws over to first to Nonan to record the out. One away here in the top, in the bottom of the second inning.
Hanfeld.
Hey, why can't
It's going to be the right fielder, Kenny Hanfeld.
Hanfeld 4 for 5 with 4 runs batted in that first game out of the number 5 spot.
All up and down the lineup in the first game. As the first pitch is in there for a strike from Calic on Hanfield, but everybody was hitting up and down the lineup in game 1, Mike.
Yeah, you look at the totals, 18 for 33 as a team, Humber. Every starter had at least one base hit.
The Hawks were very effective and efficient, not only at the plate, but also on the base paths as well, Michael, in game 1.
Yeah, a couple of double steals.
The 0-1 pitch grounder to first, fielded by Nonan. He'll just flip it over to Calic to record the out. 2 away here in the second.
Well, you hope Humber saved some runs for this
Number
game. Put up
21,
15 and not even 6 full innings in that first game, and a little slow out of the gates here in game 2. But give credit to Andrew Calic, making some good pitches.
It's going to be the third baseman, Matt Stoddart, stepping in, the left-hander again. First pitch from Calic is fouled off behind home plate. As Stoddart falls behind 0-1. 2 out here in the bottom of the second. Everett Hanmer alongside Michael Seth and Paul McGowan here. As that pitch was in the dirt. 1-1 is the count.
Calic, tall, long arms. A little tough for the hitter to pick up.
The 1-1 pitch is bounced in the dirt again. Just like that, Stoddart is out in front 2-1. The 2-1 pitch from Calic. Swing and a miss. 2-2 goes the count. Good off-speed pitch there by Calic.
Yeah, again, changing speeds effectively. A little bit tough, his delivery to pick up. I think he's had these hitters fooled this first time through the lineup. We'll see if they make any adjustments.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Time called by Stoddart and was granted by the umpire.
Yeah, you always like to see the pitcher go through the delivery. Don't stop. You're more at risk of an injury if you do that.
And so, set again, the 2-2 pitch is again bounced in the dirt. And the count goes full. So, Stoddart with 2 out has a full count here. Bottom of the second inning. The 3-2 pitch is inside, ball 4, as Stoddart is aboard here with 2 out.
Yeah, the dreaded 2-out walk. Let's see if
17,
the Hawks can make the
Colin
Falcons
Gingrich.
pay. First
So the
base
catcher,
runner.
Colin Gingrich, who with 2 outs, the catcher had most of his catching equipment on, had to quickly shed the equipment and grab his bat, and now is up to bat here with 2 out and 1 on. Runner on first. Gingrich. Called ball there. Very close pitch there. Looked like it might have caught the outside, not in the eye of the home plate umpire.
Gingrich behind the plate, giving Blake Cower a rest.
Again, Calic bouncing another one there. We saw Calic bounce about 3 pitches to home plate in the previous at-bat, and now bounced another one there here to Gingrich.
Well, 15 runs scored in the first game by Humber. A conscious effort by Calic to keep the ball down in the zone.
The 2-0 pitch was in there for a called strike. Two-one pitch with the runner going. No throw, as it was Ambrose unable to squeeze that pitch from home plate. Maybe getting a little, shifting his focus to the runner on the base pass, Michael, before the ball got in his glove there.
Well, and also, you think about the first game, 7 stolen bases total by the Humber Hawks, running at will.
Pitch lined out to the second baseman, Kerrigan, as that the Hawks will strand a runner, and after 2, still score remains 0-0.
I'm going to leave you the scoreboard from last week.
So after 2 innings of play, we've seen highly effective, the pitchers so far commanding the strike zone and really making the batters work, Paul, both getting a couple of strikeouts but also some ground ball outs.
Much different game compared to game one. Both pitchers having a lot of success early, not giving up a lot of hard contact. And I don't think we're going to see a 15-5 score this time around.
No, both pitchers have kind of settled in here so far, which is, kind of good to see. It draws the importance back to the importance of the defense in this game, as both pitchers are kind of dueling early. So you might think that runs might come at a premium here so far.
Absolutely right. Both pitchers very tall too, very intimidating looking out on the mound. Notice that right out of the gate. So for Fanshawe, it'll be Mike Cox looking for his first at bat, or rather his first hit of the year, followed by Tristan Bunrock, and then they'll turn the lineup around. It'll be Chris McQueen, shortstop, hitting third. Another cloudy day here at Connervale Park.
Yeah, cloudy, but a lot warmer temperatures than yesterday, and the wind has been mild to non-existent here in today's game.
Leading off, number 24, Mike Cox.
Don't laugh.
So Cox steps to the plate. Again, looking for his first hit of the season. And he'll stand in against Andrew Blakey. Blakey's ready and he deals. First pitch in there for a strike. Count 0-1. There's a pitch grounded to the third baseman Stoddart. Over to first, no problem to Len Wood. And there's quickly one away here in the Fanshawe third.
Tristan Buntrock.
Buntrock comes in, hitting 118 coming into the weekend. He'll try to get Fanshawe just their second base runner of the game. Trying to jump out in front of the Hawks here in game 2. Buntrock steps in, hitting from the right side. Facing the righty Blakey. And the first pitch is low, 1-0. Blakey set, he deals. Showing bunt, but pulling back, and Cam will go to 2-0. Blakey, even with a 2.15 ERA, had walked more hitters than he struck out. But Everett, that control has not been a problem so far today.
No, Blakey's done a great job of getting ahead of batters here in the strike with the opening up with first pitch strikes and all last inning.
Is the 2-1 pitch. That one hit to right. Looks like it's too far foul for the right fielder Hanfeld. Indeed it is. And the count runs even at 2-2. Blakey with 2 Ks through 2 1/3. Gave up just a single to Ian Kerrigan in the first. Humber has gotten great pitching all weekend. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a foul back to the screen, and the count remains 2-2.
Unable to get the bat around on that one was Tristan Buntrock.
Buntrock stands in. Here's the 2-2 again. Up the middle. Does the shortstop have a play? He doesn't. That one rolls past Matson into center field, and the Fanshawe Falcons have their second base run of the game. They'll turn the lineup over for shortstop Chris McQueen.
That was a good hit by Buntrock. A good pitch by Blakey as he had it down in the zone, but Buntrock really did a good job, Paul, of going down and getting it and shooting that ball right up the middle there into center field.
Sort of golfed that one up the middle, and Matson looked like he might have a play, but just a little bit too far to his left. So McQueen steps in. He was 2 for 3 in game 1 and drove in a run. And he's got a runner on here with 1 out. Throw over to first. Good pickoff there by Blakey. But Bunrock is back in safely. Queen stepped out. Now he steps back in. And a early break there by the runner Buntrock. Blakey didn't see him. And so Buntrock is safely back to first. No score here in the top of the third. 1 out in the Fanshawe third. Here comes Blakey. That one outside. Might have been a pitch out with the early break from Buntrock.
Blakey definitely tempting the Hawks here, showing the threat that he might run, breaking early a couple of times here, but yet to actually make the attempt to steal.
And that first move by Blakey was a good one, and we'll see if he goes to it again. Very quick turn. Looks in, and Blakey comes set. And the runner going, Buntrock, the throw from catcher Gingrich is a little bit offline to the right of the bag at second. And Buntrock is in there easily.
That speed by Buntrock caused Gingrich, I think, to kind of rush the throw, and so when you rush the throw, Paul, you kind of either sacrifice either location or the speed there. It was just a little bit to the third base bag side of second.
And tells you about the speed of Buntrock. I think everybody on the Hawks knew he was going, and they still can't get him at second. So now McQueen will show Bun with the runner on second, but he takes it. It's 3-0. And for the first time, Blakey having a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone. So we'll see if McQueen is taking here on 3-0. Here's the pitch. Catches the outside corner. Good comeback fastball, and it's 3-1. Sun poking through for the first time this weekend here at Connervale Park. It's been mostly gray and cloudy, but a little bit of blue sky coming through today. Here's the 3-1. And that one catches the outside corner. 2 good pitches by Blakey to get back into this at-bat.
Good job by Blakey, yeah, really battling back here with falling behind 3-0, but like you said, a couple of strikes to get back in the count, full count now.
So McQueen definitely not bunting here. Here's the payoff pitch. Inside, and it gets away from Gingrich. McQueen up to first and up to third base. On the passed ball is Tristan Buntrock.
Looked to be a bit of the sinker there, either sinker or the changeup that just kind of got away from Gingrich there behind the plate and advancing to third on the passed ball. So runners on the corners here now.
And just one away. So you do, if you're Humber, have the double play in order. But there's only one out. That means that sack flies in play. The runner going for second. Good throw by Gingrich. Down. Safe at second base. Terrific throw by Gingrich, Everett. Just wasn't in time.
Yeah, that time Gingrich really came up throwing there as the throw looked to be on time. Real close play, but good play there by the Falcons. McQueen to really get in there safe.
So now 2 in scoring position in a scoreless game here in the third. And the pitch from Blakey is high, ball 1. Batter is Ian Kerrigan, hitting .333 on the year. And he takes high, I guess, and it's 2-0.
3-0.
3-0. Another good 3-0 fastball from Blakey on the inside part of the plate to get it back to 3-1. You've still got to make another pitch here. 3-1 from Blakey. Swing and a foul off. Back to the screen, and it's 3-2. So for the second straight time, Blakey falls behind 3-0, but battles back to a full count.
Yeah, good fastball on the 3-0 pitch, and that 3-1 pitch was just fouled off there.
Here's the payoff pitch. That one's fouled off to the right side, back behind the screen. And we'll do it again. So another full count pitch. Second and third for the Falcons, one away. Just misses off the outside corner of the plate. And the bases are full for the Falcons. What that does do, I guess, is it gives you the force at any bag. So on a ground ball back to the pitcher, you can come home, maybe try to turn two that way. But the bases loaded and one out is certainly not what you want to be facing here in the third.
Advantageous position here for Sean Refalingas coming up to the plate here with bases loaded, a chance to give your base hit, maybe score 1 or 2 runs here for the Falcons.
First pitch outside. Not very much room for error now if you're Andrew Blakey. Reflinghaus take 300. He was 0 for 1 in game 1, but walked twice. He struck out here in the first. Here's the 1-0. And high again. 2-0 now to Reflinghaus. Righty-righty matchup here. And Blakey has to come in with something over the plate. Here with the bases loaded. Here's the 2-0. In there for a strike. That good two-seamer from Blakey. Able to paint the inside corners with it against righties. Still down 2-1 here to Reflinghaus. Gets a pop-up here. Going back as the second baseman and droplets. Is he going to get there? It's the... Oh, and it drops off the glove of, I think, the right fielder, Honfeld. 1 run is in. Throw comes back into Blakey. But on the error, the Fanshawe Falcons are going to get their first run. It's now a 1-0 lead here in the third.
Yeah, the second baseman, Andropoulos, was backpedaling into shallow right field, but like you said, it was Honfeld who came in, and just at the last second, it looked like Andropoulos did have a good beat on it, but Hanfeld came in, and hard to tell from here. Maybe they said something or just got their signals mixed up, but the ball able to fall in between the two of them, and 1 run is on the board here for the Falcons.
That can happen a lot. Sometimes you're so focused on going out for that ball that you forget to call for it, and you end up with some miscommunication out there on what looks like a routine play. There's strike 1. Bases still loaded for the Falcons. They're up 1-0 here in the third. Still just 1 out. Blakey has pitched a fairly good game up to this point, but 2 walks have him in some hot water here in the third. Here's the 0-1 just off the corner of the plate, and it's 1-1. Hitter is Mike Ambrose, number 22. He's catching today, and he hits this one a long way to left field. Costa going back, and it's down on the track. 1 run comes in, 2 runs in, the third run coming home, throw to the plate, in time, easily, but into third base with probably score that a double to Mike Ambrose. He moves up to third on the throw home.
Yeah, that was a well-hit ball by Ambrose. Morning track power there, just out of the reach of Costa, and they tried to bring everyone home there, the third base coach of the Falcons, but good relay throw there by Costa to get that ball in a hurry, and the third runner was out by a mile there.
Absolutely. Out by a couple of feet at home plate, and you don't like to see that, although if you're Fanshawe, I think you'll take the 3-0 lead at this point. So Blakey trying to minimize the damage here. There are 2 outs here in the third, but the Falcons still have a runner at third base. That one's hit to the left side of the infield onto first. The throw, nice pick out of the dirt by Len Wood, and Humber gets out of it. But the damage is done. The Falcons score 3, 2 of them on a big hit by Mike Ambrose, and Humber has some work to do going to the bottom of the third.
Yeah, the Falcons did a good job of getting some base runners on and moving them across, as well as, a big hit there by Ambrose to, bring in 2, and third got thrown out at the plate, but just like that, 1 inning, and coming into this inning, we said how shut down Blakey had been. couple of mistakes, and there's a 3 spot on the board here for the Falcons.
Yeah, he gave up that single. We talked about it earlier, how through all of his work this year, 10 walks, which is one more walk than he has strikeouts. He has 9 strikeouts, 10 walks. And we hadn't really seen his control be an issue, but after that single, he walked 2 men, and that was really his undoing there in the third.
And so, go to the bottom half of the third inning, and we'll see how Andrew Callett responds here to this 3 runs he's been given by his teammates here.
Yeah, of course, have to shut down Humber, get your offense back out on the field, see if they can't add to that lead for you. Callett, of course, a left-handed pitcher, hitting a very lefty-heavy Humber lineup. Wasn't an issue last game. They hit Boehner pretty hard. But every lefty looks a little bit different, and I was watching Boehner's delivery early in this game, and that hand doesn't come over the top of his shoulder until pretty late in his delivery. So if you're a left-handed hitter, you're not getting a very long look at that ball coming in.
And speaking of left-handed hitters, leading off the bottom of the third, it's going to be the left-handed left fielder, Brandon Costa, the bottom third of the Hawks lineup, due up here.
They did a good job in that first game getting on base for the top of the order. Let's see if they can turn things over here. Costa hitting .250 on the season.
Leading off for the Humber Hawks, number 11, Brandon Costa.
It's turned into a beautiful afternoon here at Connervale Park.
Mr. Sun heard there was a good baseball game going on, and he said, hey, I want to come check out the action.
Bottom of the third. Fanshawe scored 3 in the top half to give them a 3-0 lead. Humber looking to claw some of that back here. That ball is in there for a strike from Callett. 0-1. One from Callett, swinging and just a little bit out in front of that pitch is Costa, and he'll foul that back to the right side. Humber just the one base runner so far. That was the walk to Matt Stoddard. He was able to steal second with 2 outs. Then Colin Gingrich, the line out to second base to end that inning. That pitch well outside, and it's 1-2. Callett set, and he deals in another ground ball foul off the bat of Brandon Costa.
Okay, good job by Costa here, fouling off the last couple of pitches, really kind of staying alive here as you talked about it, maybe having some difficulty picking up these pitches out of the arm of Callett late.
Fouls that one off to the left side, bit of an inside-out swing there, and you wonder if, well, both teams went to their benches fairly early in the last game, and if Humber's left-handed hitters continue to have trouble picking up Callett, maybe we'll see a couple of changes early. Drives that one in a shallow left field, but Patrick is over. He'll make the grab, and there's quickly 1 down.
Andrew Thompson.
And we talked about the how the sun is out, and that, well as yesterday and in game 1 of today, it was the overcast gray skies that were becoming a bit of an issue. Have to see how the addition of the sun to this game affects the some fly balls there to the outfield.
Very true, especially if you're the second baseman, maybe heading back on a shallow fly ball that might play with your vision a little bit. Andrew Thompson, the DH, steps in, another lefty for Humber. Thompson hitting .192 coming in. He hit a triple in game 1. Went 1 for 3 with a walk. And did he go around? No, says the home plate umpire, and it's 1-1. Good job laying off that ball in the dirt. So a 1-1 count. Callett comes home again, strike 2. And I think Mike mentioned earlier, Callett with a very concerted effort to hit that bottom part of the strike zone after Fanshawe got hit hard in game 1. That went outside 2-2.
Not only working the bottom half of the strike zone, but really down and away a lot to these Humber batters, especially to these lefties here.
Here's the 2-2 on the ground, up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Andrew Thompson. He's had a good weekend, and it continues here. He's Humber's second base runner of the game.
Andropoulos.
Another good piece of hitting there by Thompson as he kind of, again, goes down and gets that one. Golfs one out to and right up center, up past the second base.
So we've already seen a stolen base from Humber. That was Matt Stoddard after he walked in the second inning. And saw 7 stolen bases in game 1. Of course, those were against Reflinghaus. Different catcher in now. You've got Ambrose behind the plate. But you wonder if Humber might test his arm now after they had so much success in the first game.
Nice off-speed changeup in there for strike 1 to Calic.
Andropoulos takes that one low. 1-1. Andropoulos, a huge game in the first part of this doubleheader. Went 4 for 5 with an RBI. Takes a low ball, too. Grounded out to second in the first inning. It's part of a great 1-2 punch at the top of that Humber lineup. A lot of speed there for the Hawks. And that doesn't just affect you on the base paths, it also makes it tough to double up in a situation like this. And the runner goes. That pitch is low, throw way off wide to the left side of second. The shortstop there, McQueen, thought that maybe he got the tag down as he was coming across to grab that ball. Umpire says no. And Andrew Thompson into second with a stolen base.
Good jump there by Thompson. And again, we see the importance of moving the base runners into scoring position early, as there's still just 1 out here in the bottom half of the third inning.
A 3-1 count to Andropoulos. Swings, and he's early on that one. Fouls it back to the screen. And with Calic throwing a lot of breaking balls in the dirt, it makes it hard if you're that catcher to, first of all, make sure you pick that ball out of the dirt and then snap up. Here a call of time from Andropoulos. But it certainly makes it hard to then pop up and throw an accurate strike to second. Humber continues to run all over the Fanshawe Falcons. Full count pitch. Check swing does not go. And Andropoulos has himself a walk. Humber has 2 base runners here with just 1 out in the third. He's trying to respond to that Fanshawe 3 spot in the top half of the inning.
The center fielder, Daniel Campos, now up for the Hawks. Campos comes in today hitting .310 this season with 9 hits. 9 hits and 3 RBIs.
And he tries once again. We've seen that all weekend, trying to lay down that bunt as he's running out of the batter's box towards first. And it hasn't worked for him all weekend, really.
It's a difficult play, that pulling the bunt down the first baseline.
And he'll swing up the middle. Double play. What a grab by the shortstop, McQueen. He slides to a knee to grab the line drive and then taps the second base bag to get Andrew Thompson. No chance for Thompson to get back on that one. That was just a perfectly hit ball for McQueen, and he made the play.
Great play there by McQueen. Coming over to his left, making the play and realizing that he made that catch basically sitting on second base, and he just puts down, taps the glove with the ball in it on second base to tag up for the double play. And as the Hawks will strand 2 runners there in that bottom of the third inning. Go to the top of the fourth inning now, as it is still, after 3, Fanshawe, visiting Fanshawe Falcons, lead the Humber Hawks by a score of 3-0. Everett Hamner alongside Paul McGowan and Michael Seff here, been with you all afternoon. And yesterday bringing you Fanshawe Hawks baseball action, men's baseball action.
And I have to think if you're Andrew Blakey, you've pitched a pretty good game. You've had those 2 walks in the third, and those are really the cause of your trouble so far. So just go out there, throw strikes, let the defense pick you up, because really it's 3-0, but that's not reflective of the game that he's pitched.
No, it was just, like I said, those couple of walks in the third inning. But in the first and second inning, You know, we saw it. Blakey did a tremendous job of getting out in front of the batters, opening with first pitch fastball, second pitch fastball even, as he got up 0-2 on a lot of these Falcon batters. And as a result of that, that puts the batter on the defense early, having to foul off a couple pitches. And as a result, it was scoreless after 2 innings.
She gave me a timeline.
And so it's going to be number 4.
Exactly.
Number 4 for the Falcons. Checking into the game. That's
Whoever Cook is. I don't have first names.
first pitch is high there for a strike. For a ball, sorry. Second pitch in there. The 0-1 pitch in there for a strike. It's 1-1 is the count. Pitch is low there. 2-1 is the count. The 2-1 pitch from Blakey. Swing and a miss. Foul tip. Count goes 2-2.
Blakey doing a good job coming right out and attacking these Falcons hitters. Exactly what he needs to do after a rough inning in the third.
Here's the 2-2 pitch from Blakey. Tried to get him to chase. Foul tip caught right into the glove.
Oh, he struck out.
Goes down for the first out of the inning.
So now it's strike.
And that'll bring up the first baseman, Jeremy Nonen. Showing bunt, pulls it away. First pitch, ball. Jeremy Nonen comes in today with a 154 average. Takes that second pitch for a ball. The 2-0 pitch. In there for a strike, taking all the way was Nonen. It's the 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike, and Blakey bows back, and 2-2 the count now. It's the 2-2 pitch from Blakey. Tried to get him to chase, but he didn't. So the 2-2 pitch. Grounder hit to first. That's going to be a foul ball.
Just outside the bag at first base.
Yeah, it was fair for most of it, but like I said, just hopped on the right field side of the first base bag. The count remains 2-2. So the 2-2 pitch from Blakey is in there for a called strike, and that will be the second out of the inning. Good pitch there by Blakey, Paul.
Excellent pitch, and we talked about it earlier. Just come back out and throw strikes. He had success in the first 2 innings, and he's done just that. And he's a couple of pitches away from a clean 4th inning.
Here's the first pitch. Is high to Mike Cox.
Cox grounded a third in the 3rd inning. Still looking for his first hit of the season.
The 0-2 pit, the 2-0 pitch. Bounce there. The count goes 3-0. 3-0 pitch to Cox. Is wide. Ball 4. Mike Cox draws the walk.
3rd walk of the game for Blakey. And having runners on base isn't just dangerous as far as having runs scored against you, but when there's no one on base, you don't have to pitch out of that stretch, and you can pitch a little bit freer. You're free to bounce one in the dirt maybe, and you don't have to be worried about having somebody advance up to second on a passed ball.
Center fielder Buntrock steps in here. First pitch is low. 1-0 is the count. Blakey throws over to first.
A couple of shadows creeping into right field from the shrubs out there in front of the scoreboard.
The 1-0 pitch was high. Count goes 2-0.
Looks like there's a little bit of action in the Humber bullpen. Nothing serious, but some stretching out, maybe some soft toss.
It's the 2-0 pitch from Bailey. In there for a strike. Count is 1-2. The 2-1 pitch is fouled off, slashed in behind the Fanshawe Falcons dugout there. Blakey back in the count, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch from Blakey is singled into right field, but right at the right fielder. That's Hanfeld making the nice play as the Falcons will go down here in the top half of the fourth inning.
Yeah, Hanfeld made to break in and then quickly realized that that ball was about to pop over his head if he did, and he took a couple of steps back, and a clean inning for Andrew Blakey, working past that 2-out walk, and he gives Humber a chance to get back in this thing.
Yeah, we talked about it before, but if you're Hanfeld, the right fielder, that's often the hardest balls to judge, is one that's coming directly at you, Paul, because it's hard to pick it up when it's coming on a direct plane right at you.
So true. You're used to having to either backpedal or turn around or run in. Those ones that come right at you are few and far between.
And so, Calic back out onto the mound here for the bottom half of the fourth inning for the Falcons. Calic has been very efficient here so far in this game.
Just 3 base runners. He's given up 2 walks and a single. And right now he's got a 3-0 lead. That's exactly where you want to be as a pitcher, especially when you're on the road and especially in Game 2 of a doubleheader.
And this game does have big implications on the standings, Paul, as it does appear to, at this point in the season, that St. Clair is running away with first place, but Fanshawe and Humber are jockeying here for second place in the standings. So,
yeah, with the win in Game 1, Humber moves 2 points up on Fanshawe. But the two teams competing head-to-head, you're right, this game's still very important as we move past the midway point of the season. You and Mike talked about it earlier. The run differential seems to suggest that Humber is maybe a little bit of a better team than their 7-5 record suggests, but you still have to go out and win those games.
and they did that in Game 1. It's going to be Matson, Wood, and Hanfeld due up here in the bottom of the fourth inning as Matson steps in here. First pitch, grounder to short, fielded there by McQueen. McQueen, tough throw, not in time, as it's going to be Matson leading off with a leadoff single.
Interesting play there. So the shortstop McQueen goes behind the third baseman to grab it, popped up off his glove, but he managed to snag it with his bare hand and make a throw to first. Unfortunately, not in time and a little bit low. But Matson won't go anywhere on the.
And so the first baseman, Len Wood, steps in here with a runner at first. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. The Hawks trail the Falcons by a score of 3-0. Opening pitch from Calic. In there for a strike, right down the middle.
And you almost definitely score that a single for Matson. That one deep in the hole, and a nice effort by McQueen, but no real chance to get Matson at first base.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Is low and outside for a ball. 1-1 the count.
Outfield shaded over toward the left here.
The 1-1 pitch is again on the outside. 2-1 now 2-1 is the count to Wood. Wood looks in, gets a signal from the third base coach. The 2-1 pitch from Calic on the way. Fly ball, shallow. First baseman gets a beat on it and retired there by Nonen.
Number 12, Kenny Hanfeld.
As Kenny Hanfeld is now coming up to bat for the Hawks here, with one away here.
Hanfeld, another Hawk that had a terrific game one. He was 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Comes in hitting .286.
First pitch to Hanfeld is low and outside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Hanfeld is again outside. Again, noticing that conscious effort of Calic to really pitch the left-handed batters down and away, Paul.
Which makes it interesting that the outfield is shading to the left, because as a left-handed batter, what you're going to want to do with that pitch is slap it to the left field side.
Pitch is low, grounded to first. Can they turn 2 here? 1 out at second. Back to first, not in time. As turning and going for second is Wood. The throw into second, not in time. Safe at second base.
Number
There
21,
is Hanfeld.
Matt Stutter.
Very alert base running by Kenny Hanfeld. Recognized that the ball was going past the first baseman's glove, and he hustles around to second to put a runner in scoring position here for Humber with 2 outs in the 4th.
And so, it's Kenny Hanfeld at second base here for the Hawks.
That 3-6-1 double play, one of the hardest in the game to turn. That pitcher has to come over.
It's Matt Stoddard now stepping in for the Hawks. First pitch again, down and away to the left-handed Stoddard.
We talked about what you want to do with that pitch as a lefty hitter, but Humber hasn't really been able to do that so far against Calic.
The 1-0 pitch, grounded foul to the first baseman. But not only have they not had to, because most of those down and away pitches, good eye by the Humber Hawks, most of those down and away pitches have been off the plate, Paul.
You're right, Everett, and if you can't spot that breaking ball, the hitters can just sit fastball.
So the 1-1 pitch is fouled back. Now the count is 1-2 to Stoddard.
Humber looking for a big 2-out hit here from Matt Stoddard.
Calic steps off the mound, collect himself. The 1-2 pitch to Stoddard. On the way, in there, fouled. Fouled off into the Hawks dugout here as Stoddard stays alive here. Stoddard gets the signs from the third base coach, steps in here. The 1-2 pitch is on the way. Down there, low. 2-2 is the count. Good eye there by Stoddard, Paul.
I think you're right, Everett. Humber hitters are starting to realize that breaking ball, that big hook from Calic, is not in the zone very often, and they're laying off it.
So now the 2-2 pitch from Calic is a hard hit ball into right field. Getting a beat on it is unable. That's dropping in front of Murner, and that's going to bring around a run. And into second base with a stand-up double is Matt Stoddard. Good at bat there by Stoddard, Paul, fouling off a couple pitches.
Absolutely waited out. Andrew Calic got a ball that was left out over the heart of the plate, and he drives that ball deep to right field over the head of Murner. And Humber is finally on the board here in the 4th.
And it's going to be the catcher, Colin Gingrich, up to bat here. Again, 2 out. 2 out, runner on second in scoring position. Brings up the lefty, Gingrich. First pitch from Calic is low, ball 1. 1-0 pitch. Again, misses on the outside. Just like that, Calic is behind Gingrich, 2-0 in the count.
Calic has pitched a good game so far, but his control failing him a little bit here in the fourth.
Big secondary lead there at second base by Matt Stoddart causes Calic to turn and have a look. Didn't throw out there, but just looked him back. Calic now in, set for the pitch. Pitch on the way. Low again. 3-0 pitch here to Gingrich. The 3-0 pitch to Gingrich is bounced in the dirt. That's going to be ball 4 and allow Stoddart to advance on the passed ball, Paul.
And all of a sudden, Humber down 2.
Brandon
here with 2 outs. They've got runners on the corners. And with how often Calic has been in the dirt with that breaking ball, having a runner at third is a terrific opportunity. Maybe you can get a little bit lucky and score one on a passed ball. Still nobody warming in that Fanshawe bullpen.
And that warrants a visit out to the mound here by one of the coaching staff, coaches from the Fanshawe Falcons. And if you're now due up to bat here is Brandon Costa. Comes up here with runners on the corners here with 2 out. A chance to drive in another run here for the Hawks.
Got to be on your toes here if you're Mike Ambrose. Don't want to allow a run to score for free from third base.
Catcher Ambrose reminding his fielders that there's 2 away here, bottom half of the 4th inning. First pitch, Calic's going to throw over, checking the runner back. And for the Hawks with 2 out, I don't know if you're really sending the base runner here.
Maybe not, although they did try that against St. Clair. That's how they scored their only run in Game 2 yesterday. Brought one across well. Cowher was in a rundown.
First pitch from Calic is low there for ball 1. Again, all of a sudden, Calic this inning really falling behind these Hawks batters.
That fastball command has abandoned him here in the 4th.
The 1-0 pitch is low, running for second. Oh, now we're caught in a rundown. That's going to score a run. As the Hawks are now within 1, still in the rundown there. Does he get it? He's out at second base as Gingrich is thrown out, but hey, you called it, Paul. They scored a run yesterday on forcing on a steal and causing the runner from third to go home, and that's how they just did it here in the bottom of the 4th. So after 4 innings of play here, 4 complete innings, it is Fanshawe Falcons leading the Humber Hawks by a score of 3-2.
So we go to the 5th here at Connervale, a much closer game than we had just a couple of moments ago, and Humber, who scored a very unconventional run against St. Clair yesterday, Blake Cowher trying to stay in that rundown long enough to score the runner from third. Mike, are you surprised that they tried the same thing the next day against Fanshawe?
Oh, if it works once, why not do it again? They were able to stay in the rundown long enough. Nice job there by Colin Gingrich, and heads-up base running by Matt Stoddart, breaking. And you got to find ways to create offense when you're not scoring. They've been shut down for the most part by Andrew Calic, but able to get 2 in that inning and really stole one, literally, I suppose. So getting 2 back, that's a big swing of momentum, Paul.
That is the very definition of small ball. And we'll head to the 5th here. Fanshawe looking to maybe get 1 or 2 of those runs back. They'll bring McQueen, Kerrigan, and Reflinghouse to the plate. Andrew Blakey still on the mound for Humber. And why not? Had a nice bounce back inning in the 4th.
Leading off for the Falcons, number 6, Chris McQueen.
So McQueen steps in for the Falcons. 0 for 1 today, grounded to third in the first inning and walked, stole a base, and came around to score in the third. It's from the left side. And looking for the drag bunt, but he's going to pop it out to the catcher, Gingrich. Nice play by Gingrich, pulling the mask off and running out in front of the plate to nab that easy out, number 1.
A little surprised. McQueen's did a good job getting on base here in these 2 games, but trying to catch him napping. Good heads-up play there. Colin Gingrich making the play from behind the plate.
So quickly, 1 down here in the Fanshawe 5th, and that'll bring Ian Kerrigan to the plate. He was 0 for 1 in the first game. He'll take high, ball 1. Had a single in the first and walked and came around to score that third Fanshawe run in the third inning. That one inside, ball 2. Fanshawe's 3 runs came in the third inning as Blakey delivers ball 3, 3-0. After Mike Cox grounded out to start things, Bunrock had a single. Then McQueen and Kerrigan both walked. And then Mike Ambrose had that big 2 RBI double as Blakey walks Ian Kerrigan.
Fourth walk of this game now for Andrew Blakey, 2 of them to the number 2 hitter, Ian Kerrigan. That's going to prompt a visit from his pitching coach here.
So Refflinghaus will come to the plate, hitting .300, at least coming into the weekend. He was 0 for 1 in the first game with a walk, and was also involved in that little skirmish at home plate late in the game.
Well, that was really his doing. He said something to Blake Cower, who kind of broke for the dugout, thinking they had a third called strike there, and that started that little dust-up.
But cooler heads have prevailed. It's a 3-2 Fanshawe lead here in the 5th. Blakey comes back with a strike. Good comeback pitch after that 4-pitch walk to Ian Kerrigan. Refflinghaus looks to third and gets his sign from the third base coach. Blakey over to first, but Kerrigan with a short lead, and he's back. Refflinghaus struck out in the first and then reached in the third. And he takes high, ball 1.
Yeah, reached on an E9. That brought in a run, but then Refflinghaus was actually thrown out trying to score. That would have been the third run on the double hit by Mike Ambrose. Turns out that's a big play right now, and you think about it, Paul. An extra out, 1 less run, and it's a 3-2 ball game.
A lot closer now than it would have been. Well, of course, you can't guarantee that he would have come around to score, but one out here in the 5th. 1 on, that's Kerrigan. Blakey looks in, and the 1-1 is down in the dirt, ball 2.
Nice block there by Gingrich.
2 stolen bases so far for the Falcons. We'll see if they've got Kerrigan moving with a favorable count to Refflinghaus. Right-handed hitter steps back in. And a 2-1. There goes Kerrigan. Ground ball up the middle into right field, and we'll see if Kerrigan tries to score from third. The throw in from right field is a good one from Honfeld. Bounces on one bounce to home plate. Gingrich brings that in. Runners on the corners, and that goes to show you, Mike, what getting the runners in motion will do. Kerrigan breaking for second. The second baseman Andropoulos had to go to cover for the throw, and what would have been a routine ground ball out turns into runners at the corners with 1 away here in the 5th.
Fantastic execution there by Sean Refflinghaus. You see the runner going, have a chance to hit the ball to the other side, right side of the infield vacated. And that's exactly how you draw it up if you're a coach or a manager. And now you got runners at the corners. That's a potential double play ball if the infield's at regular depth, but because the second baseman was going to cover, now it's runners on the corners, and you've got Fanshawe threatening again, and we've got a pitching change here.
Blakey lasts 4 1/3. Both runners his responsibility. As the Hawks will turn things over to Tyler Gerritsen, who did a good job in Game 1. They're calling on him again here in Game 2.
And Gerritsen earning the save in that first game. 4 batters faced. He retired all 4 of them. Inning in the third. Couple of strikeouts. Now being asked to kind of provide a different save, Paul. Keep the game right where it is. Got a 3-2 game, but runners at the corners. Fanshawe threatening. So a different kind of role here for Tyler Gerritsen in Game 2.
Yeah, you'd like to keep it at a 1-run game. You just finished getting 2 to put yourselves back in this thing. You don't want to go down by any more than 1.
Well, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but a double play could get you out of the inning, but a strikeout would be just as key. Blakey had 4 of them. He also had 4 walks. These are situations where a ball in play is much more advantageous for Fanshawe with a runner at third, less than 2 outs.
Well, you never talked about it to open things up, and Blakey has thrown as many, and in fact 1 more walk than strikeout early here in this season. And that's exactly what was his undoing here in this one.
Now batting number
Yeah, you like the
22,
4 strikeouts, the 4 walks, not so much. He only gave up 3 hits, so not a lot of hard contact against Andrew Blakey, but he leaves Tyler Gerritsen a pretty big mess here to clean up.
And he'll have to do it against Mike Ambrose, catching today. He came into this weekend hitting .462. 1 for 2 so far today.
And leading the team with 6 RBIs coming into this weekend.
Takes high, ball 1. Ambrose with another 2 RBIs to add to his total here in the third. And he's early on this one and hits that well over the fence and foul to the left side.
Yeah, his double, really the difference in the game right now, is a 2-run double. Could have been 3. We mentioned Reflinghaus was thrown out at the plate trying to score, but that was a shot by Ambrose over the head of the left fielder, Brandon Costa, for a 2-run double.
Ambrose catching here in Game 2, relieving Reflinghaus, who caught in Game 1. Here's the pitch, a late swing, and he's fouling it back toward the fence. Looked like Reflinghaus bluffing a steal attempt from first, but of course will reset.
A lot of different options. If you're a manager, you have runners at first and third. Don't necessarily have to run. You could force the hand of the opposing team, maybe throw through and get the runner to break.
Gerritsen comes with a 1-2, that's high.
I haven't seen that old step to third, look to first play yet. That's becoming a lost art in baseball, I think.
Count even at 2-2. Here comes Gerritsen. That one's hit a long way to left field. We're waiting for the call. Foul ball down to left. Mike Ambrose hit that a ton to left, and he just missed that left field foul pole.
Mike Ambrose went into his strut a little bit, thought he got it. He did get it in terms of distance, but just a little bit out in front, and a big sigh of relief for Tyler Gerritsen. Gets a chance for a strikeout here. That's just a loud strike by Mike Ambrose.
So it remains 2-2. Good hook there from Gerritsen. He's not quite sure where he missed.
We could hear the collective groans from the Humber Hawks bench. They thought that was strike 3. Instead, we get a full count.
Big pitch here, bottom of 5th. Runners on the corners, 1 out for Fanshawe. Here comes Gerritsen. Swing and a foul back. Up over the booth. And we'll do it all again. Ambrose with a good battle here.
One of the hardest things for a pitcher to do is to kind of refocus himself right after he thinks he got kind of jobbed on a call, which is exactly what Tyler Gerritsen was intimating with his body language. Got to buckle down and make a pitch here.
Here comes the 3-2 swing, and it's grounded through the left side. And that's good for the fourth Fanshawe run, an RBI single for Mike Ambrose.
Number 13.
And the Falcons go up in front 4-2.
And if you're Tyler Gertzen, you got what you wanted. You got the chopper, but just found pay dirt on the left side, and that's how things go in baseball sometimes. You make a good pitch, but don't get the result that you want, and it's another run for the Fanshawe Falcons.
Madsen playing closer to the bag at second base, and there's a huge hole still there on that left side of the infield. So that'll bring up Tyson Patrick. He was 1 for 3 in game 1. Stands in and takes ball 1.
3 runs batted in now of the 4 by Mike Ambrose.
Good. Looked like a slider there from Geertsen, and it's 1-1. Patrick 1 for 3 and scored a run in the first game. He stands in here with the runner in scoring position and 1 out. This one, a late swing, and he'll foul that back to the right side. Patrick batting from the right side against the righty Geertsen. And here comes the 1-2. That one's high to even the count at 2-2. Fanshawe still threatening here with the 2 on. And the base runner at first is called time. Don't want to trip over a shoelace in an important situation like this. And it looks like we're ready to go. Geertsen gets the sign. Come set, here's the 2-2. Very close pitch, just a little high maybe, and the count runs full again.
Gertzen missing up. When he's been missing up in the strike zone.
Not what you like to see. Swing, another foul back behind home plate. And a fan in front of us
Tried to be.
drops the pop fly.
Because it's hot, yeah.
You gotta catch it like Meg.
And we'll do it again. The 3-2 pitch. Low ball 4. And Humber down by just 2. But a very tense situation here. Bases loaded, just 1 out.
Cam Cook.
And it'll be Cam Cook standing in to try to extend this Fanshawe lead.
Hey, I almost wonder if Gertzen was a little unnerved by the ground ball that found its way into left field by Sean Refflinghaus. Thought he had him struck out. Then he makes a good pitch. It gets through for an RBI single, and a couple batters later, he's in a real pickle here.
And we're seeing some double-barreled action in the Humber bullpen as Geertsen throws one in the dirt for ball 1. Try to keep the wheels from coming off here. It's still a close game at 4-2. You've been swinging the bat well all weekend if you're Humber. You want to get your offense back on the field and give yourself a chance to get back into this game.
15 runs in game 1, only 2 through the first 4 innings here today.
Cook stands in. It's righty-righty. Geertsen hits one to left. It's up. And no play for the left fielder Costa as that lands foul. Even the count at 1-1. Geertsen looking for, well, he would take a strikeout, but he'd love a hard-hit ground ball to either second or short here and get out of the inning with 1 pitch.
So a nice double play turn by the Hawks in game 1 up the middle.
Madsen and Andropoulos have been terrific up the middle for the Hawks. And that one's in the dirt, and that's going to score a run for Fanshawe. Geertsen's having some trouble with his control. That looks like a sinker that he's trying to throw low in the zone, and he's just not hitting his target. That one gets past the catcher, Gingrich, and it's 5-2 Fanshawe.
And again, not even really giving your defense a chance to get you out of the inning. Colin Gingrich, really not much he could do on that.
Here's the 2-1. A big hook, and that one misses, and Geertsen looking exasperated on the mound. looks frustrated by a couple of calls that he feels went against him. Right now, you just have to pitch out of it. The 3-1 in there for a strike as Cook starts down toward first base.
Yeah, you'd have to think this is probably the last hitter for Gertzen. You got a lefty on deck and Jeremy Noonan really fighting his command here, Tyler Gertzen.
So a big 3-2 pitch coming up. Runners at second and third for Fanshawe. Swing, and that one's up. Does Gingrich have a play? No, he doesn't. It's back behind the fence. And we'll reset and do it again.
We notice for the Hawks, the infield playing in, certainly need to cut that run down. Already trailing by 3, second and third, 1 out. But at the same time, we saw it in the first game, Paul, having the infield in can also work against you.
Absolutely. Last time around, they brought I guess that was Fanshawe on the field. So another 3-2 from Gertzen. Hit on the ground and just foul over the third base bag. And we'll do it again. Gertzen throwing a lot of pitches here in relief. And what that does, it lets the guys on the bench and on deck for Fanshawe get a good look at what you're throwing.
The only out of this inning was a bunt that was popped up by Chris McQueen.
Here's the 3-2. That one hit in front of us. And the same fan drops another one. That's heartbreaking.
Well, if you can't catch it with your hand, try it with your hat. Much closer on that second attempt.
Not sure what you try on the third attempt.
Your face.
Basket catcher with the shoe.
It might hurt.
So we'll long it back here for DH Cam Cook. Looking to extend that Fanshawe lead with 2 in scoring position, just 1 out here in the 5th. And it's low ball 4. And the bases are once again loaded. They'll bring up Jeremy Noonan. And visit to the mound here.
Yeah, Gertzen posturing, really not happy with these calls, feeling like he's been squeezed. And these calls are, I don't know whether they have an effect directly on his command, but certainly his mental state. You could see him getting a little frustrated, and that's going to do it for Tyler Gertzen.
And it'll be Brandon Habibi for Humber. He's been good this year. He's pitched to a 2.33 ERA. Kind of surprised we didn't see him earlier. They haven't used him all weekend. But he'll pitch here in a big situation for the Hawks. Trying to get out of this thing down just 3. It's 5-2 Fanshawe here in the top of the 5th.
Kind of a good news, bad news for Brandon Habibi this year. He leads the team in strikeouts with 10. He also leads the team with 11 walks. So, you know what? You bring him in, he's got a 2.33 ERA, and you hope that he can be more consistent, if you will. He's been a little bit Jekyll and Hyde with his command, but certainly has strikeout stuff. And in this situation, that's what you need. Bases loaded. Need a punch-out or 2 here, Paul.
Absolutely, a punch-out or a ground ball right here, but they've been looking for that for a couple of batters now, and no luck so far.
And it's amazing, one call or one supposed missed call can change the complexion of the inning and nerve a pitcher, and I think that's what we saw from Tyler Gertzen. Thought he had the number 3 hitter, Sean Rifflinghouse, struck out. Next thing you know, he's out of the game, doesn't have another out.
Fanshawe, 3 in the 3rd, another 2 here in the 5th. After it looked like Andrew Blakey had settled down, pitched a very good 4th inning. But things are not looking good here in the 5th. The base is loaded, just 1 away. Fanshawe looking to break things wide open, especially after getting mercied in the first game. You know that they'd love to score as many as possible here against the Hawks.
You can close the book on Andrew Blakey, 4 1/3. Only gave up 3 hits, but 5 runs all earned, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Tyler Gertzen really unable to clean up the mess, and he leaves 3 runners for Brandon Habibi here. And it's just tough for your bullpen guys to have to come into these adverse situations, Paul.
Not very much room for error. So here we go. It's Jeremy Noonan, the first baseman, hitting from the left side. Habibi's first pitch is a ball, 1-0. And that one also floats outside, 2-0. Nowhere to put Noonan here with the bases loaded. That one in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. Habibi works it, looks in, and the 2-1 pitch is outside, 3-1. Big pitch coming up here. You have to come in with something, and you know that Noonan knows it. Here's the 3-1. Up high for ball 4. That'll walk in a run. It is now 6-2 Fanshawe.
And that run gets charged to Tyler Gertzen. Left 3 runners aboard, all his responsibility, of course.
So that's Mike Ambrose who comes in to score for Fanshawe.
I think we're going to have a pinch hitter here. It's like Carlos Arteaga to pinch hit for Jeremy Noonan.
What's his number?
Pinch hitting for the Falcons, number 1, Carlos Arteaga.
Carlos Arteaga stands in for the Falcons, still with the bases loaded and still just 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Showing bunt here with the bases loaded. Not really an ideal situation for the squeeze play, but he pulls it back and it's 1-0. Habibi needs to find his command and soon. That one is low and outside, and it's 2-0.
And 3 straight walks, 4 overall in this inning, issued by Humber to the Fanshawe Falcons, really just handing the game away, Paul.
That one up, and it's going to glance off the glove of Gingrich. Another Fanshawe run scores on a wild pitch. Tyson Patrick coming around for the Falcons. They've made it a 7-2 game here in the 5th.
And just as you had mentioned, you don't want the wheels to come off. Well, they've pretty much come off. Pass ball there, charged to Gingrich, and no help for these relievers from their defense, and certainly not helping their own cause with the walks.
And it's now 3-0 to Arteaga. You do now have first base open. And that is exactly where Arteaga will go. A 4-pitch walk. 8 balls, 1 strike on Habibi's first 9 pitches.
Yeah, 4 straight walks, and you look at the 4 runs, how they've come in this inning. We've had 1 on a single. We've also had a run come in on a wild pitch, a walk, and a pass ball. So very sloppy play here in this second game for the Humber Hawks after a runaway in game 1.
Tristan Butronk comes up, had a single in the 3rd.
Okay, let's fix this now.
He lined out to right to end the 4th inning.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. Okay.
And that'll be it for Habibi. You'll see Lee Mosba for the Hawks, just 1 inning pitch this year. He gave up a hit and struck out a batter. And Humber just trying to find a way to get their offense back on the field here in the 5th. They've given up 4 already. Fanshawe still threatening with the bases loaded.
Number 7, Lee Mosba.
And still just 1 out.
Yeah, 5-run ball game. We've seen 8 walks overall issued by Humber pitching, and in this inning alone, Paul, 5 of them. Really, as we said, just kind of handing the game away. It was a 3-2 game coming into this 5th frame, and it's now 7-2, and hopefully for Humber, not more than that. A rough outing. Brandon Habibi faces 2 batters, walks them both. Before that, Tyler Gertzen faced 3 batters, walked 2, gave up a hit. So the bullpen has not helped matters here for the Humber Hawks.
And now you're relying on Lee Masba. He's pitched just one inning. And you mentioned it earlier, throwing your relievers into tough situations. Now, here's another tough situation for a Hawks reliever. It doesn't get any easier.
Well, Habibi, he inherited a bases-loaded jam, and now Masba comes in, and he inherits a bases-loaded jam. So,
And if you can't get Bunt Rock, it's back to the top of the order for Chris McQueen and Ian Kerrigan. Both of those guys have had success today already.
yeah, we were puzzled when we saw McQueen try and drop a bunt down. That's the only out of this inning, a little pop-up that was corralled in foul territory by Colin Gingrich.
So Bunt Rock steps in, the right-handed hitter facing the lefty, Masba. And he's in there with a first pitch strike, a welcome sight for the Hawks. Masba leans in, gets the sign and comes set. That one fouled off to the first base side. And he's quickly ahead 0-2.
I think if we had more people here, you'd hear a Bronx cheer. You get ahead 0-2 after all the walks, 4 straight walks, and promptly coming in, Masba gets 2 strikes.
And he gets him. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Good job by Masba coming in and getting that second out finally here in the Fanshawe 5th.
Well, you mentioned Masba's only pitched 1 inning this year. I think we might see him pitch a little more. That's impressive coming in and doing what none of the other relievers can do, which is throw strikes.
Now batting number
Now
6.
he'll face the lefty McQueen.
McQueen.
Bases loaded here for Fanshawe. Another good pitch on the outside corner. Good fastball early from Masba.
Well, think about this. Habibi, 9 pitches, only threw 1 strike. Masba, 4 pitches, 4 strikes.
Swing and a miss from McQueen, and he's down 0-2. And it's tough as a defensive player, too, in a situation where you see walk after walk, and you're thinking, just let me make a play.
Yeah, you stand around, don't get a chance to move, keep the muscles loose.
Here's the 0-2. And McQueen lays off a good fastball on the outside corner. And the count moves to 1-2. Well, and further to your point, Mike, you're standing around and maybe you get a little bit, not lazy, but you're sitting back on those heels, and it's tough to get moving when you have to. Good pitch there. That's fouled off, spoiled by McQueen, and the count remains at 1-2.
It's a long inning for us up here in the booth, too, Paul. Think about more than just the players. The fans
Yeah, we're at the
feel
top
frustrated
of the
with the walks as well. But Masba, really a nice job so far. Chance to get out of this.
He's 1 pitch away. Here's the 1-2 to McQueen. Up the middle, looks like an easy play for the shortstop. Flip on to second, and the Hawks do finally get out of it. Good job by Masba getting out of it. It's the strikeout and a ground ball. Score that one 6-4,
This takes me through.
but the damage is done. Fanshawe gets 4 in the inning, and they now lead it 7-2.
You just singled, but then the runner went out. Just trying
I'm going to sit for 1 second. I'm going to switch sides at the end of the 6th inning when we flip over.
Yep.
That inning took a toll on me, too.
Oh my god, I need something to drink.
Grab something from the fridge. I turned the mic off.
Yeah, we're fresh out. I'll be fine.
Where's Lee Masba been all year? That looked pretty good. Yeah.
We were never winning.
No, we haven't led yet.
Who earned those runs then?
Wow, they have 7 runs on 4 hits. They had 4 hits.
How many walks was
5.
that?
In that inning, that was 5 total. It was 4 in a row at one point.
He gets 4.
They've walked 8 guys. I closed the book on Gertson. No innings pitched. A hit, 2 walks, 2 runs. Habibi actually didn't get charged with any runs. Said the 2 walks, and then Masba cleaned it up with 2 outs that no one else could. Him pitch the rest of the game. All right, should we jump back on?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
We're back here with you for the bottom of the 5th inning. Paul McGowan joined by Michael Seff and Everett Hammer. here at Connervale Park in Etobicoke. Fanshawe, on the strength of 5 walks and a couple of wild pitches, scored 4 runs in the top of the 5th. They now lead this 7-2. Mike, if you're Humber, how do you get yourself back into this game with not very much time left?
Well, number one, you hope that the long layoff will have an impact on Andrew Calick, who's been pretty darn good to this point. We've seen that a number of times here over this weekend, Paul, where a pitcher is forced to kind of endure a long layoff between innings because his offense is simply relentless. So we'll see how Andrew Calick settles in, if he does, or if Humber can get a few guys on. I think that's the key. You want to get early, put some pressure on him in this inning, otherwise this game will get away from the Hawks. Is already down 5 runs, a tall task here to come back.
So we'll see a pinch hitter here against the left-hander Calick. It'll be Keegan Murphy, number 23. He hits from the right side of the plate. And he'll stand in against Andrew Calick. First pitch, high for a ball. Calick comes set. Here's the 1-0. And that one's low. And Humber, listening to you early, Mike, looking very patient against Andrew Calick.
Well, I think they certainly have to be. The last thing you want to do is help him out swing at bad pitches just because you're in a haste to come back. Can't score 5 runs with 1 swing.
That 2-0 is in there for a strike. One from Calick is low, and the count moves to 3-1. Humber did get to Calick in the 4th, scoring their only 2 runs of the game. One on an RBI double from Matt Stoddard. And another with Colin Gingrich caught in a rundown, and there you go. Keegan Murphy takes ball 4, and Humber has that all-important first base runner here in the 5th.
Now batting.
Yeah, leadoff walk, not what you wanted for Andrew Calick.
So that'll bring the lefty Thompson to the plate. 1 for 1 today with a single and a stolen base. He's the DH today. Calick checks his runner, fires. High ball 1. See if Keegan Murphy is on the move. Maybe try to avoid that double play. And Calick misses again. It's 2-0.
What am I doing? Sleeping.
And again, the command just not there. He had to sit for a long time. 4 runs, a lot of walks, a couple pitching changes. Disrupts the rhythm.
The 2-0, that one in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. Humber did look a little bit more patient in the 4th, starting to lay off that big breaking ball from Calick. And they're continuing that here. Here's the 2-1, and that's in there for a strike, 2-2.
Calick battling back, falling behind 2-0.
Runner at first for Humber is Keegan Murphy. He takes his lead. And Calick comes home, that one inside maybe. And the count runs full. Thompson looking to turn this lineup over here in the 5th. Payoff pitch, and Thompson spoils it behind him. And the count remains at 3-2. You'd love to get back to those 1 through 5 hitters who have been so good for you today. If you can bring those guys up with a couple of men on, you definitely increase your chances of getting back into this one.
Good patient approach here to start this inning by the Hawks.
Here comes the 3-2 from Calick, up and in. Thompson has to back away, and back-to-back walks to open the game, and that'll prompt a visit from the Fanshawe bench.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he's a little rusty. He had to sit for a while, was in a good rhythm. We had the game moving along pretty quickly. Sometimes you're a product, sometimes you're a victim, I should say, of your own success. The offense putting up the runs with all the free passes, but looks like it's taking its toll a little bit on Andrew Calick here in the bottom of the fifth.
A long, slow walk to the mound. Maybe trying to give those relievers some time. I don't think anybody was throwing. And Fanshawe maybe trying to buy themselves some time and get some guys up and warming in their bullpen.
It's not as if Calick has been perfect with his control all day. 3 walks coming into this inning. It's 5 overall. But clearly with the back-to-back walks, not looking as sharp as he did in those first 4 innings when his team got him a lead, and it was a much slimmer lead, a little different complexion now, taking the mound after the long layoff with a 5-run advantage.
One of those walks was to the hitter Andropoulos. He's 0 for 1, grounded to second in his first at-bat, and then walked in the third.
And usually after a visit from the pitching coach, first pitch, always a fastball, which that was, but just missed.
Andropoulos 4 for 5 in game 1 with an RBI. Looked like Murphy bluffed a steal attempt from second, but he'll head on back.
That's what I heard.
And the count is 2-0. Humber very patient here. And a ball in the dirt, and Ambrose can't find it, and the Humber runners advance second and third now with nobody out, and a 3-0 count on Steven Andropoulos.
And certainly would not expect Andropoulos to swing here. Maybe even see him take 2 pitches, really force Andrew Calick to throw a strike, which he just hasn't done this inning.
Especially when you've got 2, 3, and 4 coming up, and all 3 of those guys looking really good for you today. There's a strike as Calick comes back and gets one on the inside part of the plate. Humber looking for a big hit here, but they would also take a walk. A 3-1 from Calick. And that one is low, ball 4, 3 walks to open the inning. Humber has the bases loaded for Daniel Campos. Campos 2 for 4 in the first game with 2 RBI. Hasn't had a great time of it here in the second game. He's grounded to second in the first and hit into a double play in the third. He'd love to get his first hit of the game here.
Yeah, it was a hard line drive right to the shortstop, but ended up getting 2 outs on that play.
Calick surrounded by Hawks. First pitch low and a snap throw back to second. They get him. Andrew Thompson thrown out, had a massive lead off of second base. Good snap throw from Ambrose, and that's a tough out if you're Humber.
And completely inexcusable for Andrew Thompson. I understand you want to get a lead and be able to score on a base hit, but nobody out. You're down by 5 runs, and you're not even the lead runner. We saw this a couple times yesterday. The Hawks just need to be a little smarter with the decisions on the base paths.
So if you're Humber, you still have 2 on. And Calick may be buoyed by that pick off at second. Evens the count with a strike. It's 1-1. Definitely changes the complexion of the inning here. All of a sudden, Fanshawe with the double play a possibility. And the steal attempt over the head of the shortstop. And that's going to score a run for Humber. Into third base is Andropoulos. And the Hawks tack 1 on. It's now 7-3.
And making up for that base running blunder there, Andropoulos with the steal, the E2. Breaking to come in to score was Murphy. So at first you don't succeed, Paul. Try again. We've seen the stolen base be a big part of the Hawks' arsenal in these 2 games, even though the pickoff there hurts. Able to get that run, and now you have a runner at third. Still less than 2 outs. Opportunity to steal another run with a ground ball or a fly ball.
1-1 on Campos. Swings and fouls that one back to the screen. It's 1-2. Lots of action down in that Fanshawe bullpen. Looks like 4 guys throwing. But Calick remains in there right now. 2-2 count on Campos. Runner at third is Andropoulos. And the pitch, that one's fouled back. And we'll do it again. 2-2. Nice catch by a fan out there behind home plate. Calic with the 2-2. In the dirt, 3-2. Calic still having trouble. Led off the inning with 3 walks. And the only out, the pickoff at second by the catcher Ambrose. Big pitch here. You have to think this could be his last batter. Payoff pitch to Campos. Swing and a line drive. Up the gap is going to be cut off by the center fielder, Buttrock. And Daniel Campos with a big RBI single here in the 5th to cut the lead to 2. Calic left another one out over the plate. We saw that in the 4th inning. Campos gets one out over the heart of the plate, and he drills it. No chance for the second baseman here to come down with that one. Metropolis is going to score easily from third base to make this 7-5. 7-4. So Campos at first, and Calic stays in the game. Staying close to the bag at first. This one fouled off by Sean Matson, and the count is 0-1.
And one thing Humber has done this weekend, they've responded to big innings by the opposition by putting up runs on their own and kind of bailing out the pitching staff when they've struggled.
The 0-1 from Calic. That one hit to center. Drifting away from the center fielder, but Buttrock comes over to make a running catch, and there are 2 down now in the Humber 5th.
And that's a big play by Tristan Buttrock. Got a good read on that ball, heading towards the right center field gap. And you think about the way this inning has gone, that is a big out, a big relief, I would think, for Andrew Calic, who struggled with his command in this bottom of the 5th.
But you've still got to deal with Len Wood. He had 4 RBIs in Game 1 this afternoon, 5 RBIs the last time these two teams played in London. And he steps up here with Daniel Campos at first base. Calic's going to throw over and keep Campos close. Humber has answered Fanshawe's big inning with 2 of their own here in the 5th. And they're looking for more. That one floats away from Wood, 1-0.
Kind of taking a page out of Fanshawe's book, 2 runs but only 1 hit in this inning, taking advantage of some wildness on the part of Andrew Calic.
Locks will come back to haunt you as a pitcher, and especially when you issue 3 straight. That one low, 2-0. Calic with a much longer leash here in the 5th than I expected. Especially with so much action down in the Fanshawe bullpen. He's ready. Here's a 2-0. Runner goes. Good jump from Campos.
That was so close.
And Andrew Calic cut that ball off by accident. I would say the ball caught him. That throw never got through. Ambrose falling over with laughter. Everyone's okay. That's the good news. But that throw never got through to second base. And ducking and just kind of sticking his hand up in self-defense, Andrew Calic actually caught that ball.
Good eye, Mike. Hard to see what happened on that play. Campos had a real good jump anyways. It's going to be tough to get him. And that one hit to short. Easy liner, though, for McQueen. And Humber goes down. But they do get 2 back. It's now 7-4 Fanshawe. We head to the top of the 6th here at Connorville Park in Etobicoke.
Oh my God, I'm hungry. Everything hurts. But switch it up.
Yeah, I'm going to be back here. Okay.
That was weird. He threw and the guy just stuck his hand up with the duck.
That's what I thought happened. It's hard to...
Yeah. Bizarre. How bizarre.
Oh, my throat is
Oh man, I've already gone through that phase of my cold, so I hope I didn't get any of you guys sick.
No, just from...
I've been sick I was sick going into
from
the
the moment I met you. Don't you talk about heavy. I'm starving, actually.
Wait, how did Wood go down?
He lined out. Oh, sure. Hang on a second. Murph?
Murph.
All right. Go hungry.
Who was this?
Well, it's Cracker Jack.
It was,
Yeah. No, don't eat them.
No, I
Can't eat them. Well, I mean,
peanuts. Cracker Jacks.
Oh.
What are they?
I think you took them.
Everett's.
It's not much protein in Cracker Jack.
Yeah.
Not Cracker Jack.
He pinch it for Costa.
Yeah, but is he playing now?
About what?
Boston's not out there.
That was tight. Yeah. Too big of
College, like, yeah.
College Jack. Thinking that would happen in high school.
Yeah.
Are there any Cracker Jack?
I don't think that's him. Who's in
Grab me one before we get back on the chewing on the air.
Everett's allergic, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
Can you help me with it?
Don't eat that.
Really?
Sorry.
Alright. Well, give me the bottle. I won't open it up.
No, Everett's allergic.
Just happening. You can't even hear it?
No.
What's up, Peanut?
I don't know, I stopped watching it. I was
Stop
trying to figure out
watching.
who's
They're getting
left.
smoked. 6.
No, yeah.
Alright, let me
But
set this back on.
now he's the GH.
Alright, we go here to the top of the 6th, and Humber trailing in this second game of the doubleheader 7-4. An easy runaway victory, Paul, in game 1, 15-5, but a little different story in this one as Fanshawe has found some offensive production with the help of some walks from Humber pitching.
But I think if you're a Humber fan, what you have to take solace in is the fact that this team, in that first game against St. Clair when they got down 8-3, and in this one down 7-2, never give up. They continue to try to claw back runs, and that's what you like to see as a fan of a baseball team.
Certainly, and a nice job last inning by Lee Mosbaugh as he deals here in the top of the 6th to Ian Kerrigan. A couple of walks and reached on an error as Kerrigan thus far. Second pitch to Kerrigan, that's away. And it is 2 balls and no strikes. Ian Kerrigan did not start in the first game. He's been on twice and scored twice here in the second game. So here's the 2-0 pitch. That's inside. And quickly falling behind, Lee Mosbaugh is 3-0 now on Ian Kerrigan. And Mosbaugh did a fantastic job coming in, inheriting bases loaded, getting a strikeout and a ground out to end the 5th. And swinging with the green light on 3-0. And coming up empty is Ian Kerrigan. Had the green light. Nothing to show for it. And actually, I think it is actually 2-2. We may have seen that incorrectly. Here's the pitch, swinging a ground, a foul.
Humber's still not out of this game. Got 2 half innings left, and you're only down by 3.
2-3-4 here in the Fanshawe order. Kerrigan, Reflinghaus, and Ambrose. The hitters due up. Here's the pitch. That's swinging a chopper third base side. It'll trickle foul. And again, the walks have been a big issue here for Humber pitching. They've issued 8 of them this afternoon through just 5 innings. And that would explain why only 4 hits for the Falcons and 7 runs on the board. Here's the pitch. Slow curve outside, and now the count runs full. 3-2 on Ian Kerrigan. And now here's the payoff pitch from Mosbaugh, and a little bit high, ball 4. Kerrigan draws a leadoff walk, his 3rd free pass of the game. And again, Paul, the leadoff walk.
Looks like a little bit of frustration on the faces of the Humber infielders. They had to sit through that long 5th inning without very much to do, and now this inning leads off with a walk as well.
Kind of that, oh no, here we go again feeling as Sean Reflinghaus will stand in. He struck out, reached on an error by the right fielder, and singled and scored in the 5th inning. It was Honfield who could not make that play in the 3rd, and that ball almost hits Reflinghaus, and it's 1-0. And that was a ball in right that led to a run that was charged by Honfield, and a little bit of miscommunication between he and Len Wood, and the ball hit off the glove of Honfield and ultimately led to a 3-run inning and a pickoff attempt, and scrambling back in is Ian Kerrigan. You'd hope, Paul, if nothing else, a left-hander on the mound may be a little more effective in controlling the running game.
Definitely harder to steal on a lefty, assuming he has a good move.
So again, Kerrigan with his lead. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's down and in, 2-0, and all of a sudden Lee Mosbaugh has lost the strike zone a little bit here.
I was going to say your bigger concern right now is just throwing strikes and letting your infielders make some plays behind you.
Dangerous hitter on deck, Mike Ambrose, has driven in 3 runs here today. Here's the 2-0 pitch, runner going. It's hit right to the second baseman, who's going to step on second and turn an easy 4-3 double play. Stephen Andropoulos. That time the hit and run worked in Humber's favor, as Andropoulos was positioned perfectly, headed towards the bag, fielded the in-between hops, stepped on the bag, and turned that 4-4-3 double play.
Nice job by Andropoulos, and exactly what the doctor ordered for Lee Mosbaugh there. Ground ball right up the middle, hard hit. Andropoulos steps on the bag. Good throw over to first. Little bit of a stretch there for Len Wood, but not a very tough double play at all.
Not a perfect relay throw by Andropoulos, but the hit and run giveth and it taketh away, and certainly Humber will take it, as it's 2 outs, nobody on. And here's Mike Ambrose, and he takes high and tight, 1-0. Ambrose has had a big game here in game number 2, a 2-run double in the 3rd. RBI single came around to score in the 4-run 5th inning. Catching in this one, started at third base in game 1. Here's the pitch, and that's hit out to deep left, but playable out there for the left fielder Murphy. He makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Lee. Well, kind of a 1-2-3 inning, Paul, for Lee Mosbaugh. Faces only 3 hitters.
Faces the minimum anyways.
So we will go to the bottom of the 6th. Mosbaugh has kept things right where they are. And the Hawks will look to chip further into this Fanshawe lead at 7-4 as we head to the bottom of the 6th here in game number 2.
Lead is up at the top of the 6th.
Pitching change. Who's
That's what it said on the sheet.
Ever, can you try to find out
Bartolo Colon. Who is this?
23?
Is it around the order?
23. His name is Kevin Hilton.
Hilton?
Hilsden. Let me see his numbers real quick.
You've been getting all the stats, right, and stuff? Can we borrow theirs, Fanshawe's? We fucked up. Did they just put back there?
Yeah, sure.
We just need it for 2 seconds.
It's fine. What did you say it is? 23.
6-4.
Kevin Hilsden.
Shortstop is second.
We'll have to figure out the line.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so what did we do? So we had to play.
Dark.
Go back on her.
Yeah, sure.
But nobody scored because it was a 3rd out. But he got to that out. Okay. This is what we're doing. Yeah. So then you're going to
Hang on, let me see if I get the stat sheet. It's a great song. It's amazing song.
But he didn't. Okay. So we
All right,
couldn't play
forget it.
do Fearless Choice.
So we will go to the bottom of the 6th, and Humber looking to make up a 3-run deficit. Fanshawe leading game 2, 7-4. Humber took the opener 15-5, and a pitching change here, as it'll be a big right-hander, Kevin Hilsden, on for Andrew Calick, who gave up 4 runs over 5 innings. Had a little bit of trouble with his command last inning, but mostly kept things at bay for the Fanshawe Falcons here in game number 2.
Managed to work out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. Did give up 2 in the inning, but he's able to go the full 5.
Yeah, self-inflicted jam with the walks, but leaves with a 3-run lead. Certainly after losing the first game by 10, I think Fanshawe would be pretty pleased with the effort of Andrew Calick, and they turn it over to Hilsden now, who has only appeared in 2 games, 2 runs allowed in 4 innings, and he throws strike 1 here as we begin the bottom of the 6th to Kenneth Honfeld. Kenneth Honfeld, a couple of ground balls. He did come around to score after reaching on a fielder's choice. Moved up on an error and scored on a double by Stoddart, and he pops this one foul out of play, and quickly 0-2 as Hilsden gets ahead of Honfield.
And after some tough left-handed pitching, both last game and today, we'll see if these left-handed Humber hitters can put up some runs against a right-hander.
The 0-2, and that's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kenneth Honfeld. Kenneth Honfeld had a big first game, went 4 for 5, drove in 4 runs in that 15-run outburst by the Hawks, and this one is popped up foul, will reach the seats, and it'll stay 1-2 on Kenneth Honfeld. playing right field both games today. Played left yesterday. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Check swing held up, and it's 2-2. Humber is 7-5 as they come into the second game of this doubleheader. 6-4 are the Fanshawe Falcons. We mentioned that Humber's run differential +1. It's -8 for Fanshawe. Here's the pitch, and there goes the bat. It's strike 3. Look out!
Right in the
Fanshawe
dugout.
and I don't know if that got somebody. It very well may have.
Yeah, somebody's down.
You hold your breath, and a couple of players and coaches converging, and I think that may have hit somebody in the Falcons dugout, Paul. Very scary.
Well, you'll sometimes see the bat fly out of the hands of a batter. You don't often see it go right through the dugout door. So that's an unfortunate accident there. Doesn't look like anybody is too seriously injured. And we'll hope for the best.
May have been more of a scare than anything. Certainly a hope. Order appears to be restored. It is a strikeout as Hanfeld lost his bat and struck out. So he's 0 for 3. And Matt Stoddard will stand in. 1 for 1 officially. Walked and stole a base in the second. RBI double in the fourth. Came around to score when the runner, Colin Gingrich, broke for second. Showing bunt is Stoddard, and he takes strike 1.
Stoddard hadn't seen very much action coming into the weekend, but he's been big for the Humber Hawks here today.
And that double was hit a ton out to right center as he takes low and away here, 1-1.
Well over the head of right fielder Murner.
Stoddard will be followed by Colin Gingrich, and then if anyone gets on, Keegan Murphy, who pinch hit for Brandon Costa. That's swung on and tapped foul behind the plate, 1-2. Saw Matt Stoddard pitch in relief yesterday, and getting the start here in both games of this doubleheader over at third base. Had a nice game in game 1, 2 for 3, couple of RBIs, a run scored. It'll be a 1-2 to Stoddard, and he fouls it off the screen. So we'll do it again at 1-2. Kevin Hill's been a big guy. Doesn't throw very hard. Most importantly, he's come in and thrown strikes. Was able to fan Kenneth Honfield to start this frame. So here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's high, 2-2.
And it has that Johnny Cueto 3/4 delivery.
Yeah, and of course Hill's been a big boy. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's fouled again. Right back to the screen.
Good at bat here for Stoddard. He knows that Humber needs base runners. He's doing everything he can to stay alive and get himself on here in the 6th.
I think he's seen enough of these leadoff walks and these rallies perpetuated by the inability to throw strikes. He's come in and really attacked the hitter so far. Ahead of Matt Stoddard, 1-2. Here's the pitch. Curveball, that's bounced to the left side. Fielded on the in-between hop by the shortstop. McQueen, he throws to first and out. And taking a tumble. Couldn't tell if that was a slide or if he just slipped going past first base.
Number 17.
Interesting play there. I thought that Noonan came off the bag.
It was a close,
Tough to see on the replay there.
close play at first. I'm not sure if he was in between and indecisive whether to slide. Not always well advised to slide or dive into first, and Stoddard may have been a little bit shaken up as well on that play.
In any event, a great pick by Noonan there at first. The throw from the shortstop, McQueen, in the dirt in front of him. Had to play it off the short hop and did a great job to pick that one and hang on. It's a tough play for a first baseman.
It's 2 outs, nobody on, and in the meantime, Denny Burney is having a little discussion with the first base umpire, wanting to know exactly, telling him what he thought of that call. But 2 outs now, and nobody on, as that ground out goes 6-3, and it'll be Colin Gingrich, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Gingrich did help create a run when he was picked off and stayed in the rundown long enough for Stoddard to score as he takes ball 1 here. Gingrich Gingrich getting a start behind home plate, catching in Game 2. First 3 games of this weekend were started by Blake Cower. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's the strike, 1-1.
Some action in the Hawks bullpen. We'll try to figure out who that is.
The pitch is bounced foul. And it's 1-2 on the batter, Gingrich. So Hillsden ready. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's popped up on the infield. The shortstop, McQueen, settling under it and makes the play, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Hillsden as Humber goes down in order after 6 innings here in Game 2. It's the Fanshawe Falcons 7, the Humber Hawks 4.
That's what I had to do with that trial. Oh, really? No, that's exactly
I turned it off for a second.
I'm glad it was
You
you.
can't be expecting us to talk through the breaks, is he?
We did before. I don't know.
No, just for a second. I just want to see because they're getting a new pitcher, so.
Maybe he has it?
7?
Oh, not a clue, sorry. I had no clue. It's not here anymore.
It was 7-0.
So it's not here. Man, this iPod is so awesome. I wonder whose it is.
Lee Mosba.
He's still pitching?
Yeah, still on the mound.
Alright, so don't close the book on him. Alright, I'm going to turn this back on. Ready?
What was it?
Hey, by the way, before I do, how are you allergic to Cracker Jacks? Just the sugar? Or?
I'm allergic to peanuts.
Oh, peanuts. Okay.
I allergic to sugar.
Yeah, that's it.
Same.
Alright,
Glucose is a bitch.
so we go to the top of the 7th here. Humber is going to need 3 to tie if they can hold Fanshawe right where they are. 7-4 game. Final inning here. Lee Mosbaugh back out of the mound, and he's done a fantastic job out of the bullpen after Tyler Gertson and Brandon MBB really struggled. Mosbaugh settled things down. An inning and 2/3, a walk and a strikeout, no hits, no runs effort, and that's been very important to keep Humber in this game.
Yeah, and the key out of all of that, Mike, is he's really been coming out of the bullpen and throwing strikes, which you said the pitchers previous before him really struggled with their command, but Mosba coming into today only with 1 inning of work has really shown some good stuff here for not only to himself but maybe to the coaching staff for the rest of down the stretch here.
And throwing strikes, that's become a little bit of a novelty, and really 1 inning. If the Hawks don't come back and win this game, then we'll look at, and it was that 5th inning in which Humber pitching issued 5 walks, including 4 in a row at one point. Tyler Gertson and Brandon Abibi did not record it out. Each pitcher allowed 2 walks. And Mosbaugh has come in, really settled things down. That gave Humber a chance to get a couple of runs back. And if you can keep it right here, 7-4, you're within shouting distance going to the bottom of the 7th. But first things first, Tyson Patrick will be the batter. Patrick 0 for 2. He's walked and scored. Mosbaugh's pitch, that's inside. And the count 1-0 on Tyson Patrick playing in right field today.
For Mosba, just keep to what was working for you last inning and just bring that out here as well.
1-0 pitch, and that's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. It'll be Patrick, Cook, and Noonan due up here in the top of the 7th. The 2-0 pitch from Mosbaugh. There's a called strike, 2-1 on Tyson Patrick. Tyson Patrick in Game 1 was 1 for 3, singled and scored a run. Came into this weekend hitting .235 with 4 runs batted in. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's grounded foul behind the plate. And 2-2, so Mosbaugh's come back with a couple of strikes.
Yeah, good job to battle back in the count here and really working the bottom half of the strike zone, which has been really effective for him last inning as well as here so far today.
So it'll be a 2-2 working from the set position. Mosbaugh's pitch inside almost hits Patrick, and it's 3-2. And the amazing thing in both of these games, you think about it, Fanshawe scored 5 in Game 1. They've scored 7 here in Game 2, but only 4 hits in both of those games. So taking advantage of the walk, certainly. 3-2, there's a called strike 3. Flipping the bat, thinking he had a walk, was Tyson Patrick. We've seen all too much of that this weekend, Everett. And the umpire's not going to like that, but Patrick is gone, a strikeout victim. Second one for Lee Mosbaugh. There's one away here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, really, he thought it was down low for ball 4, and kind of the bat flip. We have seen that in game 1 and 2, and did see it a bit even yesterday's games too, as well as, the umpires at any level don't like being shown up there. Wait for the call, and
there's Cam Cook, and he takes a called strike 0-1, and unfortunately it was what started a little bit of a dust-up. Blake Cower heading for the dugout thinking he had strike 3. You don't often see it from the catcher, but that got Sean Rifflinghouse fired up a little bit, and showing bunt and bunting it foul behind the plate is Cam Cook, so quickly no balls and 2 strikes.
Cam Cook comes into the game today hitting just .091 here so far on the season.
It was Alex Shanu who started this game, struck out. Cook 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk. And behind here, 0-2, as Masbaugh has really settled in. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Cook, and it's high and tight, 1-2. A left-handed hitter on deck in Jeremy Noonan. Masbaugh working quickly and works from the set position. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and a called strike 3. So 2 strikeouts, both looking here to start the top of the 7th for Lee Masbaugh.
Yeah, Masbaugh having the batter second-guess himself there, working got the corners going so far. That low corner, both pitches been in low and inside, really, causing the batters thinking that pitch is low, but he's been getting that lower half of the strike zone all last inning and this inning, Mike.
And talk about a shot in the arm after the struggles of Tyler Gertzen and Brandon Habibi. Lee Masbaugh has come in and really shut things down as strike 1 is thrown in there to Jeremy Noonan, who's 0 for 2, a walk with the bases loaded that forced home a run in the 5th. And Masbaugh a chance for a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's low and away, 1-1. Walked Ian Kerrigan to start the 6th, but Kerrigan was erased on a double play, so Masbaugh faced the minimum last inning. And looking to do the same here in the 7th, and the 1-1 is high and tight. Ducking out of the way was Jeremy Noonan. 2 balls and a strike.
Masbaugh also doing a good job mixing up location. Really, that pitch was going high in the strike zone. Most of the times he's been working down and away, so really trying to mix the batters up that way as well.
That's a good point, Everett. And there's strike 2, called strike, so 2-2. And Lee Masbaugh not only looking for a 1-2-3 inning, but maybe a chance to strike out the side. He's got the first 2 batters looking here, Patrick and Cook. Now looking to put away Noonan. Here's the 2-2, and indeed he does. A called strike 3. How about that? Lee Masbaugh strikes out the side. All 3 strikeouts looking. Masbaugh, 2 2/3, brilliant scoreless innings out of the bullpen. Last chance for the Humber Hawks as we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's Fanshawe 7, Humber 4.
Yeah, Masbaugh, that looked like he went to the off-speed pitch there as his put-away pitch for those last 2 couple at bats. And again, it was that off-speed pitch low in the strike zone that the Falcons batters have just been sitting on and thinking that it's low out of the strike zone, when really Masbaugh's been hitting just the bottom, edge of that strike zone, and got them on 3 pitch strikeouts, all looking.
And if that is in fact the last time we see Lee Masbaugh this afternoon, his final line, 2 2/3 hitless innings, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and that walk was erased on a double play, so only facing the minimum 8 batters. Fantastic job by Lee Masbaugh, pitching only in his 2nd game of this 2015 season. So last chance for the Humber Hawks here as they need 3 to tie, 4 to win. Fanshawe looking for a split after dropping game 1 15-5, and staying on will be Kevin Hilston. Had a 1-2-3 6th inning, and it'll be Murphy, Thompson, and Andropoulos due up here in the bottom of the 7th. And we might get a pinch hitter here. It was Keegan Murphy that was batting in the 8th spot.
It was going to be Blake Cower.
And it's going to be Blake Cower, who started both games of the doubleheader behind the dish yesterday and started the opener of the Twin Bill here today. And he's going to pinch hit for Keegan Murphy here to begin the bottom of the 7th.
Cower came into the weekend hitting .250.
Blake Cower.
With 4 hits and 16 at-bats so far this season.
And Blake Cower in the first game, 1 for 3 with a walk. So the first pitch from Hilston, there's a strike. So Cower quickly behind 0-1. So Brandon Costa, Keegan Murphy, and now Blake Cower all hitting in that number 8 spot in the order as Hilston misses high, 1-1. And we notice another pinch hitter has stepped out into the on-deck circle as well. Actually, scratch that. Thompson has emerged, and that's ball 2. It would be Thompson and then Andropoulos. If anyone gets on, Daniel Campos would bat. Just looking for base runners here. Here's the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss by Cower, and it's 2-2.
Big cut there by Cower. Saw that tantalizing pitch high in the strike zone. Just couldn't get around to it.
Hillsden has done a nice job. He's come in and thrown strikes. Here's the 2-2, grounded towards short. Charging is the shortstop, McQueen. He throws, he got him, one away here in the bottom of the 7th. We've seen that a few times here this afternoon. Chris McQueen charging and making that throw across his body.
Number 2, Steven Andropoulos.
No. Andrew Thompson's up. Andrew Thompson.
So with one out, Andrew Thompson will be the batter. Thompson has singled, stole a base, also walked, but unfortunately Everett a big base running blunder that, when we look back on it, looms as a big play in this game. Picked off second base with the bases loaded with nobody out in that 6th inning, and he takes strike 1.
Yeah, getting picked off is the last thing you want to do and when you're on base at any point, but especially when the Hawks were threatening there with bases loaded to try and get back in this game.
Yeah, curveball flips the outside corner, and quickly 0-2 on Andrew Thompson. Hillsden working quickly. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's in the dirt, 1-2. Thompson 1 for 3, scored a couple of runs, had a couple of walks in game 1. Told you 1 for 1 officially. Also walked here in game 2. Need a couple of runs to at least have a chance for the tying run. The 1-2 pitch from Hillsden, and that's hit up in the air towards center. Backing up, still backing up, but there to make the catch is Tristan Buntrock. And the Hawks are down to their last out here, as Steven Andropoulos will stand in as the final hope.
Well hit ball there by Thompson, just a matter of, just didn't have enough. It was right at the center fielder, Buntrock, and he just backtracked a few paces there and able to record the long fly out there.
So Andropoulos, who was on base 4 times in game 1 and has walked a couple of times here in game 2, will try and spark something with 2 outs. Campos and Matson to follow if it gets that far. First pitch is in there for a called strike, 0-1 on Steven Andropoulos. And Kevin Hillsden has really done a nice job out of the bullpen here. 5 up, 5 down. The 0-1 to Andropoulos. That's outside, 1-1. We know Andropoulos has good speed, so even a softly hit ball in the infield and he could reach first base. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Slow curveballs in there for a called strike, and now the Hawks are down to their final strike. Hillsden shaking off. Now has the sign that he wants, and here's the 1-2 pitch, and a swing and a ball hit out into right center field over as Buntrock still over, and he makes the running catch, and the ball game is over. And Fanshawe earns a split here in this doubleheader, winning the second game by the score of 7-4.
Nice play there by Buntrock out in center field, recording the final out here of the game. Got a good read on it right off the bat of Andropoulos and secured it there, and that's the ball game, as they say.
And Kevin Hillsden, a great job out of the bullpen. 2 perfect innings. Retired all 6 batters he faced with a strikeout in there. He gets the save. Andrew Calic goes 5, gives up 4 runs and gets the win. And the Hawks will have to settle, Everett, for a split here after a big offensive eruption in Game 1.
Yeah, the bats were alive in Game 1, Mike, but just they kind of weren't really silenced, but met some good pitching here in Game 2. And coupled with some miscues on the base paths and some good pieces of hitting by the Falcons, ended up, Falcons come away with the win in Game 2.
I want to thank you for joining us. Again, final score here in Game 2. It's Fanshawe 7, Humber 4. Humber wins the first game 15-5. So the teams split. For Everett Hanmer and Paul McGowan, I'm Michael Sepp. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Yes! Yeah! Not a working player. That was funny. Bye.
I don't know if these squads are